going to show you how I hang clothes to dry inside. So sometimes I put my socks in the dryer, but I feel like the downside to putting your socks in the dryer, in my opinion, is they just shrink more than I would like. And I don't like that. But if you like your socks shrinking, put them in the dryer. Clothes just do not last as long. I think people say, oh, modern clothing, it really lasts like 4 months. I don't know what people are talking about. I have clothes that last me for years, and I buy them at regular stores like everybody else. And I think a lot of it has to do with I wash my clothes on delicate, and I hang dry. I don't throw every piece of clothing in the dryer. I think that makes a big difference. I really do. And with the sockies, what I like to do is I like to space them out. And I like this kind of hanging rack. I know there's various kinds, but I recommend a 2-tier hanging rack. I think they're just the most efficient. Like I've seen other ones where it's like a foldable one and you hang it over the little. I just don't like those as much because you can't really hang up the clothes so that they can dry nice and straight. Those are just not my favorite personally. Some people really like them. I just don't like that particular model. And I wash my hair ties after wearing them a few times just because I feel like it keeps them cleaner. Honestly, that's my thought on it. Let's see. Oh, my deal is this is my channel and you came here to like not be positive. So you have 2 choices. Be a positive person and enjoy the streams on my channel, or just move it on to another place, you know? Because we don't do negativity here. Like, you know what? I'm promoting positivity on my channel, fun place to hang out. If you don't like that, like, I'm the anti-bullying crowd. Like, I'm the anti-this, anti-that. I don't like that sort of stuff. So if you enjoy that kind of vibe, it's because your parents didn't raise you right. You know? Okay, I'm hanging up clothes. Okay, well, I'm not anti anybody. I don't have time for that, and I wasn't talking about that on my feed. And yeah, you should go talk about that somewhere else. Like I said, I don't have time, energy, or patience to be anti people. That sounds kind of like, did your parents teach you right? Anyway, yep. Not cool. You have to be pro everybody. You don't have to like what people do, by the way. You don't have to agree with what they do. You don't have to love what they do. But you have to treat people with decency and human respect. I mean, that's how it should be, you know? Thank you for loving my paintings. I appreciate that. Positivity flips. If you don't like something, move on. Nobody forces you to be anywhere. It is fun. I like to paint. I should paint more, I say. And this is why I hang clothes, like I'll explain. Because I feel like they just last longer. So I've been trying to like buy these thinner hangers. Some of them break. Like I did like the sparkly ones, and there were some Juicy Couture ones that I thought were cute. But honestly, I don't know if I would repurchase this brand again because the plain old thin hangers that I got at Walmart, those are more durable. And yes, I have the thick plastic hangers, and they're definitely durable, like they last forever, but these take up less space in your closet, so you can hang more clothing vertically. Because I'm not the kind of person, like I know Mary Kondo is all about like folding clothes a certain way so you can see everything, but I personally think hanging clothes makes it easier to see everything that you want to wear, so you'll actually wear it, in my opinion. You know? Well, dear, I don't wear them mismatched. They come out of the washer like that. Snap! Like, when you wash things, they don't have to be matched. Okay? Like, when you pull things out of the washer, the washing machine doesn't match make them for you. Like, some of them got washed previously, and I just match them up as I go. Snap. See? And you should hang your socks because here's the thing. They last longer. Like, if you dry them, they shrink. And I know, like, I've tested this out. So, I tested out, like, how long can these little ankle socks last? Because they are prone to shrinkage. I've noticed this. And if you hang them, they'll last longer. Like, the washing machine doesn't sort socks by match me, and I'm not gonna spend time doing that because you can match them after they dry. After they dry, match them up. It's just, yeah, I was telling my mom about this the other day. She goes, "Oh, don't you dry your socks?" And I'm like, "No." Because I've dried my socks before, and they shrink, and they don't last as long. And yeah, I know modern clothing, it's not going to be made to the same quality that clothing was made like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, or just like back in the days when everybody made their own clothes. I mean, you could make your own clothes. Ideally, if you want to spend time doing that, you should. I thought about it, but I just never got around to learn. Like, I've sewn simple things, but I've never sewn clothing. And to be honest, this one's backwards. Put the other side out. This is just my honest opinion about sewing clothing. I think it could be fun, but I really don't want to. I'd rather just buy clothing that I really love and make it last a long time. And I would rather pay somebody to sew something, like, because I thought about this for a long time. If I had this desire to sew clothing, I'd be doing it. And I'm not doing it, so. And it's quite a learning curve, by the way, because you have to really be good with measurements, and it just takes a long time to produce like a piece of clothing that you're gonna really love and that fits you well. Just my opinion. I just show like what I do in my daily life. I don't really talk about like that. Like I'm just sharing parts of myself. I don't really talk about everything I do because I think that's not a YouTube topic. I kind of find it cringe unless you own your own business. You shouldn't be like this. I have like deep opinions about people unless your business like wants you to like post stuff online. Like I find it a little cringe. And if I were a teacher, I substitute taught in the past, but if I were a teacher right now, I would not be making like videos about it. I don't know. I just think people should have like a little bit of distance, and they don't need to talk about what they do online. Like I share what I do in my free time. I don't share what I do online like for a livelihood. I just don't think it's appropriate. Like I just personally think it's not respectful to you or to your employer unless like this is kind of my opinion on that, you know? I don't know. Just kind of my opinion. I just love to okay, things I love to share are just you should take care of your house. I have a passion for that, and I'm sharing clean talk stuff like cleaning, home maintenance, and things like that in my free time because I just think it's fun. Also, too, because I really need to get around to doing art, but I haven't really been pushing myself to do more art. This is just what I've been doing right now. But I really should be doing more art. I always say that, but that's what I want to do with my free time. And yeah. You can do some fun things with hangers, by the way. What is some fun stuff you can do with hangers? Is my opinion. Like how you can entertain yourself if you're doing laundry. You could why not? Let's twirl our hanger around. Lots of fun. Do, 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 do. I want you to hang straight. Hang straight. Put this here for now. Have a thicker here. I need to debulk this section so that everything can dry properly. I go with the thicker plastic hangers if I'm hanging like socks or things that I feel like have a little bit more weight to them. And I just love this vertical hanging rack as opposed to the more horizontal one where you just hang everything over it. I don't like that model. I didn't even know that model existed, to be honest, because years ago, this was the model that we bought through a catalog, and I'm just stuck with this type of model of hanging rack. It's the best one. And I've used iterations of this one for years, but then we discovered the double hanging rack, because the first one we had was just like the singular one, or it was just the first layer. But I highly, highly, highly love this double one. I just highly recommend it. Get the belt on you. I'm going to take the belt off just actually to dry, because I think you really shouldn't be drying like that. I think you should go aloft and over. And take this guy off. Oh no, no wire hangers. No wire hangers, they say. Well, I do love books. I mean, books are amazing. Everybody should read. Okay. Okay, so I kind of wanted to speed it up a bit because I was going one piece at a time. And I got a few things all together. No, the hangers are all stuck together. It's Sticky Wiki hangers. They're all sticking together. Like every single hanger is sticking together. Okay, let's see. Give that a shake. This right here. My favorite book. What's my favorite book? Well, when I was younger, I read a lot of historical fiction, and I loved the Bounty trilogy when I was younger. And then as an adult, I did love a lot of fiction. Like I loved the Jacobean Building. I loved Pomegranate Soup. There's quite a few books. I loved Shanghai Girls, but now I'm more into actual just history books. I don't really read fiction any longer just because fiction just disappointed me too much. And I got to the point I just want to read about actual historical events. And I feel like if somebody's good at writing a narrative, it's just as engaging. Like there are some like really chef's kiss history writers, and I'm not a big fiction person any longer. Like I was for a long time, but I started branching out and I started reading more just mainstream fiction, some indie fiction. And I think I just read one fiction book too many that I didn't really care for. Which one was it? I don't know. Was it The Love Canoe? I'm trying to remember the name of the book, but it just really made me not want to read fiction anymore because it was about this woman. She was an artist and she had cheated on her husband. So now her husband was cheating on her with the young neighbor and she was acting like, oh, she had to accept it. It's like, okay, whatever. Like, why are these people married? Like, why are they together? I didn't get it. Like, it was just so weird. Okay? It just wasn't my cup of tea. And then, was it even The Love Canoe? I think it might have been The Love Canoe, but I might be calling it the wrong name. I think that was what it was called. But then at the end of the book, I think the husband decides he doesn't want to cheat on, like, they're in their 50s, late 40s, early 50s. He doesn't want to cheat on his wife anymore, like, with the 17-year-old neighbor. And she's, like, devastated. So you would think she's going to go crazy over it. But she tells her dad, which is such a weird, like, weird. It's just weird. And then I guess he goes to the house and he like shoots the husband. And I'm like, oh, ew, ew. Like, no. The whole book was just too, like, drama filled. So that, and then, I don't know. I just really got tired of fiction. And I see that there's a lot of cute fiction, and I could be tempted with it, but I'm just more of the mind that I want to read nonfiction history now. Like, that's what I want to read, and that's just what I do read. And, you know, if you enjoy fiction, you should read that. But, yeah, I just love history text. That's my favorite kind of book at the moment. So I think I'm going to do a little bit more laundry, and I hope everybody has a good night.